Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Government employees abusing their power and using taxpayer resources for their own pleasure. That's what a whistleblower claims is going on in Pennington County, Minnesota.
Valley News Team's Ryan Laughlin investigates if there's abuse of power in the highway department.
People's money being abused for personal use.
That is the Pennington County water tanker. And these are pictures of that county truck at the Pennington County engineer's home, filling up his backyard pool.
I just happened by to catch the truck going into Mike Floggin's yard, backing up to a swimming pool, filling his swimming pool, and coming out.
Jerry Madison is blowing the whistle on what he says has been abuse of powers in the Pennington County Highway Department.
Year after year, I've watched it happen.
He worked for the Pennington County Highway Department for around 20 years, but was fired.
I reported some of these issues, and I got run out.
So Valley News Live investigated.
Have you ever used county taxpayer resources for your own personal use inappropriately?
No.
Floggin says he's never abused his position of power.
I've never done anything improperly. You know what? I've used those services before, but I paid for them just like the rest of the public.
Spraying weeds, clearing snow, and scraping and spraying roads are all services taxpayers pay county employees to do. But what about filling a private pool?
Yeah, I paid for the truck and I paid for the water.
He did. We pulled the invoice and the check. $170. He wrote a check and dated it on the 11th. The work says it was done on the 10th. He admits using the equipment for something like this is a perk of working for the county.
You know, we've never done it to the public. We do it for our own employees. You know, it's something that we don't want the whole entire public, you know, being involved with, because it just gets to be too big of a service. But with our employees, if they'd ask if they could have that type of service, yeah, we'd do it.
And what about this guy, the guy behind the wheel, Joseph Gary?
He did that after hours. I do that so I don't have to mess with his work day.
So we pulled Gary's time card. The time card backs up what Floggin told us. No overtime paid out to Gary the week he filled up his pool.
Is he permitted to drive company trucks when he's not working?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's things that, yeah, I guess, county equipment, we've allowed our own employees to use county equipment as long as they ask, you know, the administrator to use it, you know, so we've allowed that. It depends on if it's nominal use, we'll allow it.
What does nominal use mean?
Really, to the administrator, if it gets to be a certain point where, you know, this is getting to be too much, no. But if it's just a simple use, yeah, we've allowed that to happen.
Now, there are a couple discrepancies in the two different versions of the story we're hearing. Mike Floggin, the county engineer, he says that this is the first year he's ever used a county truck to fill up his personal pool. But our whistleblower and multiple people inside the department who wish to remain anonymous say that he's been doing this for years. Then there's the facts around the pictures. Floggin says that he's sure the water truck was only out at his property July 10th. He received an invoice July 11th and paid for the water. However, the pictures are time-stamped July 11th. Oh, and the water tanker has a GPS in it. County officials say it took the same route near Floggin's home on the 10th and the 11th after the county shop closed at 4:30 p.m. This means the invoice that says the work was done on just the 10th isn't accurate. Floggin says he submitted a check on the morning of the 11th when the work was done, but the work wasn't done until after office hours on the 11th. So there's no way he could have submitted the check on the 11th because the county office was closed before the work was done.
Watch the video. It's been going on for years, and there's a lot more of it.
Yeah, I would imagine he's trying to create some issues for the highway department.
Floggin maintains they're not doing anything wrong.
As long as they pay for it, as long as it's paid for, you know, I've allowed it. Right, we don't want any services being unpaid for, you know, public services. So
He should be held accountable. A guy making $100,000 a year using taxpayer equipment for his own personal use, and I've seen a lot of it in the 20 years.
From Pennington County, Ryan Laughlin, Valley News Live.
We asked the Pennington County Highway Department if there are any rules or guidelines about using county equipment off the clock. They said they couldn't find any rules governing when and when not to use county equipment. Flogan also says he believes the liability lies with the driver if something were to happen while a county employee was using county equipment off the clock. This story came to us via our whistleblower hotline. If you need help with a serious issue in your community, call 237-6576 and leave your tip. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it.
Two men who were fishing on the Red River say they noticed their boat was drifting toward a rocky dam near Lemke Park on the Fargo side. But they couldn't get their motor going and wound up lodged against a boulder by the river's current.
Valley News Live had the first news crew on scene capturing the dramatic water rescue and the heartwarming moment between father and son who made it safely back to shore. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric joins us live from the scene. Bradford, that had to be something to see today.
That's right, Andrea, Mike, it was pretty dramatic to see the two men stranded in the boat in the middle of the Red River. As you said, we were some of the first people on scene right behind the rescuers, and we saw Justin Kill and his father in the boat. Both stayed surprisingly calm throughout this entire ordeal. As you can see behind me, this is where the boat got lodged in the river between a boulder and the swift moving current of the water here in the river. And it was here Tuesday morning where Justin Kill and his father were both rescued. Kill, as you said, says they were out fishing on the river. They were drifting towards the rocks. He said their trolling motor was not doing a thing against the strong current, and they were not able to get their main motor started and the prop in the water before they were pushed against the rocks. While Kill says he's thankful for the quick response from the rescuers, he says he's also thankful for that boulder too.
Well, I'm glad that rock held us up there. That probably saved everything, so could have got dangerous if that one to happen, but.
As for what's to be done with the boat here in the river now, fire crews tell us there's essentially two options. One, wait for the water level of the river to rise, let it float off the rocks, and then pull it out of the river downstream. Option number two, hire a boat salvage company to pull it off of the rocks. Reporting live along the Red River, Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks, Brad. There have been at least 2 recoveries on the Red River this summer of people who have gone underwater and did not come back up. Fire crews say people on the water need to be aware of what they're doing and how fast and strong the current is moving.
The clouds today seem to take a little edge off the Thames, which I'm guessing are most welcome by many. Let's find out if they will produce any rain later tonight. Hutch?
Well, we saw a few sprinkles earlier in the day, but for most of us, it's going to be dry for the remainder of the evening. The exception to that will be well to the south, where we have some severe weather rumbling through parts of eastern South Dakota and southern Minnesota tonight. And along the North Dakota-South Dakota border, a few showers, but most of those remaining south of our area as storms stretch from north of Sioux Falls to Minneapolis this hour. Your planning forecast temperatures near 80 all the way through 9 o'clock. The wind light. We're going to stay with the cloudy skies across the valley. And it does look like we will have a slight chance of some rain in the forecast, as we could certainly use some. I'll tell you when that'll be. We'll talk about the heat of summer that is back on its way here in a moment.
All right, look forward to that. Thanks.
63 patients, mostly children, were moved today from the downtown Sanford Hospital to the new hospital near I-94. Ambulances moved the patients all day long after getting the okay from their doctors. The Children's Hospital, Birth Center, and Emergency Room will now be located in South Fargo. The new hospital will have 384 beds. The downtown location will be operational. The cancer centers will remain there. Sanford officials say the hardest part will be people remembering where to go.
You're in active labor, or you're going to have a baby. If it's an emergency situation, stroke, heart, whatever it is, you come to the new medical center on I-94. Everything else in the other campuses will be scheduled.
Many of the patients moving into the new hospital today saw the biggest change for Sanford: private rooms. Sanford says they planned for this move for over 3 years.
A lot of firsts this week at the new Sanford Medical Center. The hospital even welcomed its first baby this morning. This is Caden Reynolds. Caden was born at 8:12 this morning, weighed in at 4 pounds, 0.06 pounds, and was 16.1 inches long. And the family is thankful that the new facility allows them to stay close.
And with the new hospital and the staff that they have, we're able to stay here for the baby. And that's, having done the traveling, that's huge. I mean, there's no words to express how big it is to be able to stay in your own community, have the support of your friends and family who live in that community, and not have to be staying in a hotel, 300 miles away.
Caden and his parents received some very special gifts today, such as a $1,000 scholarship and a gift basket filled with blankets, toys, and books.
He's adorable.
Congratulations to them.
Still no signs of a missing local restaurant owner, but we continue to learn more about his business dealings. The latest later on Valley News Live at 6.
At best, only a few sprinkles in the FM area. When is our next chance of rain? I'll have that answer and talk about the heat on the way coming up right after this.